Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and get started. He'll pop in when he can. All right. Welcome, guys. Okay. So a lot of us are just getting back home from Leaders Retreat, but I was looking at our calendar and it was like, well, we should capitalize now while we're all excited and everything's fresh on our mind. And so we wanted to kind of share with you guys what, oh, you might need to grab a chair. We wanted to share with you guys what were our takeaways and the things. I'm not even going to share very much, I don't think. I would like to hear from you guys who attended Leaders Retreat for the first time or the second or third time. I'm not sure if Wendy's on, but anyways, I'm going to, let's see. Actually, I'm going to have Melody and Josiah share first, then we'll just kind of go around the ones of us that were there. You can, I don't know, I can pick names or you guys can pop in as you have a chance to. So, okay, cool. Melody, you guys can unmute. I'll try to keep it, everyone else muted.
Okay, I think I did it. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Can you introduce yourselves and maybe share how long you've been in Plexus, maybe your rank, and if this was your first year at Leaders Retreat?
Yeah, I'm Melody Detweiler. This is my husband, Josiah. He'll share in just a second. This is my first Leaders Retreat. I'm a Gold Ambassador, and I've been with Plexus a little over a year now, working the business. So I was so excited to get to go, and I think just the friendships and meeting people, connecting names with actual faces, not just Facebook pictures, was such an encouragement. There are so many other homeschool moms like me. There are so many other big families, or just a lot of similarities to where I'm at. And that was really fun to get to see husband and wives working it together and doing well. Just a lot of different types of people. So it was really fun for me to get to chat with people and ask them questions, and that was probably my favorite. The other thing that was huge for me was the John Maxwell teaching. It was phenomenal. It was really helpful, and I wrote down just a couple of points that I thought were particularly good. There was a lot, but this is just a couple things. One thing that he really emphasized was servant leadership. He said specifically, even there is no upline, downline, but that we should all be serving each other and working together. And he said something to the effect of, at his office, maybe somebody else heard this better than me. I'm not sure I have the full picture on this. I must have been a little distracted, but he said something about at his office, they don't even have like special parking places or like a fancy office for the in-charge guy, and everybody else doesn't have a fancy office. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he's not there for perks. He's not there for special treatment. He's there to serve. And that's that of others. So I thought that was like really excellent. And he pointed out that we're grown-ups. We're not looking for people to, I guess, be a fan club or, but we're looking to serve them. And that's what a mature grown-up, he used the term, person does. And then the other thing I thought was really helpful was he said, when you become a producer and you are really walking the talk, so to speak, in your business, people are attracted to you, and the qualities that you want in others, you need to be yourself. Mm-hmm. You attract who you are. You're going to attract the type of leader that you are. And I thought that was really interesting. So those were kind of my takeaways. So.
Excellent. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's why he's successful, is because he views himself as a servant, mm-hmm. a servant leader. And it was great. Great. Okay. people are popping in. Everyone's having a day like us, right? You want to share your top things, your takeaways, and share a little bit about yourself as a guy sharing Plexi?
Sure. Yeah. So this is my first leaders retreat as well. I joined a couple months ago. Melody had asked me to join to help her get the leaders retreat, and I didn't want to do it in just name only. And I'd been thinking about it for a while and just struggling with my own home business and just having to deal with invoicing. And Plexus has really streamlined everything. If anyone has ever done any other home business type endeavors, this is just an incredible opportunity. We have at our backs customer service. We don't have to. I have coworkers. One coworker, he sells fidget spinners, and he's running to the post office and printing these things out on his 3D printer. And I don't know what he's making, $5, less than $5 an hour. I don't. But it's so going to leaders retreat was something that I was kind of still trying to find out, how do I fit in with this? And I'm not a nutritionist like my wife is. The business stuff is what clicks most with me. And so just seeing Plexus from the leadership standpoint and how they're running things, I think is some of the things that stood out to me the most. Their attention to quality. They had banners everywhere. They could have, I was just thinking, there's a lot of ways they could have spent the money they did to show gratitude to everyone there. And they chose to do it in specific ways, and they could have done it in other ways. They had some great food there, but they could have fed everyone every single meal, but yet they chose to do things like put on a 5K. They shut down a good stretch of the road that cost thousands of dollars to do that, to do the 5K. They did, for us, we got to the convention. We earned leadership treat kind of late in the game. And so there wasn't enough rooms at the Gaylord. And so they gave us a stipend to stay at another hotel down the road. And that would have been great. That would have been enough. But yet then they provided shuttles to go there. So they provided a way to make it easy to get there. And so little things like that I really noticed a lot. I had the opportunity to sit in on the Canada opportunity meeting. And long and short of it is that they said in the meeting, Tarl and Alec said, basically, we won't have a timeline for this Canada launch until I forget what the date is. But that took a lot of integrity to have a whole kind of press conference meeting to say that and say, when we give a date, we want to give a date that we can deliver on. And that's very, very important to me. I've been in a lot of business endeavors where people just said what sounded good, and there was no way to deliver on that. And everything I've seen with Plexus has just been following through. They've been profit driven in their growth. And what I mean by that is in this Canada opportunity meeting, they had some of their people that were with the company in the early days when they didn't have all the perks that we have in the back office. They only had one product. And what that tells me is that they didn't start huge with a bunch of debt and then try to attract everybody with all of this nice stuff. As they built a little by little and grew organically. And that's really a big distinction between chasing and producing. And so all those things, I have tons more I could go through, but I don't want to take it from everyone else. But just the quality in which they did things. They gave everybody these medals and stuff, and just little stuff that they didn't have to do. Alec was standing at the finish line in the race, giving high fives to everyone. He didn't have to be there. He could have been milling around at another time and talking to people. But little things like that mean a lot, and really shows that they appreciate the service that people are doing. They appreciate the work that people are doing, and they're rewarding it in a way that says, we're putting some money in this as well. I mean, they could have just said, this is the Gaylord. It's a wonderful, beautiful place. But you walked in and you said, Plexus is at the Gaylord. There was banners everywhere. And that makes a big difference. So.
Yeah, I think that's great. I like that, chasing versus producing. It's interesting to hear what you guys glean, because it's different than what I glean. I think guys glean something different than girls a lot of times. So, and I'm sure Justin can track with the things you're sharing, because he's more business driven and thinks along those terms. So yeah, awesome. Okay, Jan, you're up there. I see you. Do you want to share a couple things?
I would love to. Well, I think one of my biggest encouragements and takeaways was when Alex shared with us his 10 items for, I've got it right here, for being happy, centered, and successful. And what he shared was really quite basic, but it really spoke to me about where Alex's leadership is. And I was just really encouraged. I'm just going to read through them real quick for those of you who weren't there, because to me this was just really, really incredible what he shared with us. It was how to be happy, centered, and successful. His number one was, I think, so important: don't make exceptions to your standards. And he was really firm on this, of don't ever make exceptions to your standards. I loved his number two, which was smile. And he even said that it would make people feel awkward when you smiled at them. But I just loved that he shared that we just need to smile at people. His number three was be disciplined. And I think in today's world, we often forget how important it is just to have discipline in our daily lives. Number four was live the golden rule. And that's just an important everyday reminder. He went on to say, don't complain. And that was his number five. And I loved what he said there when he said, don't be a backhand complainer either. And he talked about how sometimes we start with a compliment and end with a complaint. And I wondered how many times I'm guilty of that. Number six was keep learning. And we've had a great focus on that in our one team, but I think it's really important that we focus on learning every day. Number seven was look up. And I loved that he said, look up, look around you, get your head up out of the screens, and that sort of thing. But then he said, look up. And I just really thought that that was really encouraging, that not only was he telling us to look up at those around us, but he was also pointing us on up. And I thought that that was really encouraging. Number eight was set goals, and he reminded us that we have to write them down. Number nine was be humble. And I watched him a lot this weekend exemplify that to us. He led in a very humble way, and that was encouraging. And then his number 10, I think Melody hit on this already too. His number 10 was serve others. And so even while those were just so basic, but I just felt like they were such a great takeaway and just such a great reminder. But they also helped to build my belief in our company when our leadership is asking us to exemplify these types of behaviors. So I think that was probably one of my biggest takeaways. And then my second one was just the amount of fun we got to have together as a team, with our sidelines, with people from all over, not just the country, but the world.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great time talking with a gal from New Zealand. And one of the things there I learned is, wow, we've got it a lot easier than they do when it comes to working on the business. They've got some great challenges. So anyways, the fun we got to have, I thought was incredible. And like Josiah just said, it was just amazing how Plexus took care of all the details. It was really fun. My 15-year-old won the 5K. And Garrett won the 5K. And just to see Alec there hugging him, high-fiving him, and the others that were just so encouraging to my kid that was just tagging along with us and running the 5K, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So those were some of my takeaways.
Thank you, Jen. That's awesome. And this was your first of many leaders retreats. So that's so fun. Okay, and so some of you may not even know, or if you're listening to this call after we record it, may not even know what exactly leaders retreat is. So I'll just do a quick overview. Basically, right after convention, all the way through like August or September, there is a contest. And so there's certain points that you can accumulate from preferred customers, from your own personally sponsored ambassadors, and from people that get added to your team. And then there's different prizes you can win. You can earn the entry to Leaders Retreat, and then there's prizes above that you can earn as well. And as your team grows, you can earn more prizes. And so the first year I went, I earned a couple prizes, and there was one person that qualified, Wendy Lawson. I think she's traveling still back home. I think she popped on, but there she is. Yep. I see her. So she was my very first ambassador that qualified for Leaders Retreat. And I love her story because she was a silver ambassador. She had just started a few months before. And I mean, I didn't even know that I could earn Leaders Retreat. And she messaged me a couple weeks before it was over, and she's like, I think I can earn that. She goes, I think I'm 10 people away. I just made sticky notes and stuck them on my, I don't remember, board or fridge or something. And hi-ho, she did it. She did it herself. She didn't depend on a team. She did it herself. And Leaders Retreat is always hosted in different cities. They usually use the Gaylord, at least as long as I've been with them. They use the Gaylord Resort, which is, if you haven't been to a Gaylord Resort, they're really nice, huge, big conference center, cool, like trees and tons of stuff like in the atrium areas, and then there's rooms all around. And they provide live alligators in the little river that was running through. It's pretty cool. There's in the Orlando one, there was a huge water park for the kids. They loved playing. People bring their families. They make a little trip a lot of times. You get one guest when you qualify. So a spouse or a child even can be your guest to attend. They provide a couple dinners. They do the 5K. Sometimes they do some breakout sessions, or sometimes there'll be like a little, what do they call that? Forum or whatever, like a Q&A. They've had different times. But yeah, it's one of my favorite Plexus events. They don't host that many throughout the year. There's just a few. And this one's kind of an elite thing to earn because it's just leaders that earn it. It's not easy to earn. You have to work hard to earn it. It's an honor to be able to earn it and go. And yeah, it's super, super fun. And it's a lot of, there's usually like 2 sessions, and then the rest of the time is free time where you can connect with other people. You can, they had some excursions, or the first year I went, it was in Washington, D.C., so they had some opportunities to go see some of the historical sites and things like that. We had a little baby with us at that time, so we didn't do that, but it's always such a huge blessing. Lisa, you want to share and maybe share your rank and how long you've been with Plexus and good stuff?
Hey guys, I've been with Plexus 2.5 years. I'm an Emerald, and it was my second Leaders Retreat, and it was wonderful. And I agree with everyone, Melody and Jan, that you talked and said that it's more fun with getting to know the people that we see on Facebook, our team members. And last year I had a great time, but there were a few of us there. I can't remember what you said, maybe like 8 or I don't remember how many you did write that. Okay, yeah, like 5. So it was fun, but this year it was so much more fun. I had so much fun. I am really a blue, and so when I would go back to the room, I couldn't fall asleep for probably 2 hours because I was so amped up, and so I was really being held back by my sweet family because I wanted to be with you guys partying the whole time and talking. So, but anyways, I agree. I felt very blessed, and the energy is high at this event, and so it's so encouraging, and you feel very honored. John Maxwell was fantastic. I had the privilege of seeing him at a pastor's retreat type thing, like a leadership thing that we take our team to at church every year in July. And so they surprised us with him speaking one night, and it was just amazing. And so I felt very blessed in having read so many of his books. But one of my things, Jan, I think you said this, we attract who we are, not who we are not. And I know I've heard that before. And we've all heard about personal growth, personal growth, personal growth. I just did a Zoom hour or so ago and sharing with one of my teams that I feel like I've heard that so much, and I would always go, I've got all these books beside my bed, and why am I, how am I ever going to fit them in? But the longer that I'm with Plexus, the more I see that personal growth is not an option. And I mean, if we want to be successful and adding value to people. And so I felt like with Leaders Retreat, not only are we not honored and provided with delicious food. Oh my goodness. I feel like the food was better this year even than last year. I've only been twice, but I said to my husband, I was telling, I think Angie, I feel like it's better than it was last year. I felt like everything was better. So awesome. But not only do they honor us and give us the gift bag and just fun, it's just so awesome. Like you said, the 5K and everything, but they bring in an amazing speaker that they want to grow us as leaders. It truly is a leaders retreat. And so my takeaway is do whatever it takes next year to get there. And it is hard work to get there, but you feel there's just something about it. And I left feeling like I want to produce, I want to grow. I just felt so full on the inside. And I also feel so blessed with our team. And it was funny because I was thinking we were in Justin and Megan's suite and being able to sit there and talk and share. And I thought, oh my gosh, it would not be fun if we were not on this amazing team. It would not be the same. Carrie, Justin, and Megan, you guys are amazing, and we're so blessed. And I feel like the in-person events make such a huge impact on our belief. Not only do I believe in the products and this opportunity, but I believe in our team. I just love our team so much. And what John Maxwell had said, there's no upline, sideline. We're all in this together. I feel like you guys as leaders, Carrie, Justin, and Megan, you really exemplify servanthood leadership. And I'm not just saying this to pat you on the back. I truly mean that. You're a blessing to all of us. And so it makes me want to strive to be that same way with everyone too. So I'm just blessed to have been able to go, and I know we're all tired, but it was so worth it. And you guys, if you were not able to make it this year for whatever reason, make that a priority starting now and just saying, this is, I know we'll be talking about convention, and I was not able to go this year. I am going to convention. And that's the other thing at Leaders Retreat. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm never going to miss another event that Plexus does. This is too much fun for this blue personality to miss out on. So that's my takeaway.
Thank you. That was awesome. Yeah, I really appreciated too the leadership that they exemplified, and really the training they gave us. I loved the 5 levels of leadership that John Maxwell talked about. And I'm going to be leading a group, one group or maybe a couple groups, I don't know. And I'm not sure exactly how it'll be structured. We might do, the top ranking people on our team might lead some groups of the 5 levels of leadership, because like Lisa said, it's not an option. If you want to go up in this business, you have to pour into yourself. You have to grow as a leader. Who you are now and at the rank you are now, if, as you grow up in the company, that means you're going to have to lift your leadership lid. So if you're at silver right now, your lid is going to have to go higher to get to gold and to senior gold and to whatever goal you want. I mean, maybe it's not to get to diamond, but even as a senior gold, and the difference in leadership that you have as a senior gold versus a diamond, you'll grow. Like, it's just part of the process. And if you feel stuck, a lot of times it's either, from what I've been able to pinpoint in my own journey, is either it's production or it's leadership lid. So those are just a couple side notes. All right, let's hear from someone else. Casey, you want to pop on and share your top takeaways, and maybe don't forget your rank and how long you've been with Plexus.
Hey guys. Actually, I didn't have a whole lot planned to say, but I really did love hearing John Maxwell. I mean, I was not even, my mindset changed a lot a few months ago. I've been kind of in this valley a little bit, but when I heard John Maxwell was going to be there, I worked my tail off to earn Leaders Retreat. And thankful I did, but I learned my lesson, because this was the first event I went to where I didn't stay at the resort where it was hosted. I told Mark, he was my guest, I just kicked myself for it. It was dumb on my part. I won't do it again. So where we stayed, though, was beautiful. We went to the John Maxwell session, and I just love what he said. I loved, right now, Mark is reading my 5 levels of leadership as we speak. He stole it from me. I just got it in the mail. And he just really impacted both of us. But I didn't have any notes, sorry. I want everyone to know that earning your trip to Leaders Retreat is worth it. Work your tail off, because Leaders Retreat, they spoil you. The food was amazing. The parties are amazing. There's beautiful people there. We were walking down the hallway, and Mark says to me, I don't think I've ever been somewhere where there's this many beautiful people. And I said, do you know why? And he just looks at me, and I said, all of these people really care about their health and wellness from the inside out. You know, they've all been personally growing, reading books, improving ourselves as leaders. And he also said something to me about, well, if all of the leaders, if these are all the leaders, where are the followers? Who are the followers? And I don't know why that just stuck in my brain. And I am like, well, the followers haven't earned it yet. They're not leaders yet. So it was just intriguing. I don't know. It was a good trip, good short trip, but Leaders Retreat is definitely more fancy schmancy than convention. Convention's a blast, but Leaders Retreat is worth it. Just work your butt off for it. And yeah, I guess that's really what I took away, is just, I'm so glad I went, and I'm so glad I've kicked it in high gear ever since I've been home. So time to rank up. Oh, sorry, I'm senior gold.
Oh yeah, and it's your second, right? You've earned 2 Leaders Retreats.
Yeah, this is my second. I went last year as gold. Yeah, I was gold. So I was gold for a whole year. That's my own fault. It's nobody's fault but my own. I didn't do a lot of follow-ups. I didn't do reaching out. Now I'm seeking out people that really want to prove themselves, but they want a business. Mm-hmm. They believe in the products because they care about health and wellness, but I want somebody that's business-minded. I've learned for a whole year being stagnant that I was doing something wrong. So that's what I'm going for now. My whole wall of fear has gone down. I'm good with putting it all out there.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, when we were chatting earlier about and John Maxwell was saying, think how much easier it is if you recruit level 4 leaders into your business versus level 1s. Of course, we want to help everyone that comes to us, but in line of business, it saves us time, effort, so many things, and we'll develop people as much as we can, but how much easier to get people that are, that already have a certain level of leadership in their toolbox.
Yeah. I like that, what he said. Don't go after the people that are unemployed or they're nobody wants them. They're level 1, and there might be potential in some of those people, but the percentage is very small.
Mm-hmm. And we're not looking for the masses. We're looking for the few. We're looking for the few that want this opportunity. And So that means we probably have to talk to a lot of people, or just talk to the right ones, the scary ones maybe. Find
And know
successful in their.
and choose the verbiage. You have to find the verbiage that works.
Mm-hmm.
Don't throw them a sales pitch. This is not what it's about.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Awesome. Okay, Angie, you want to share? Whoops, don't forget to unmute.
Yes, okay, sure. Okay, so I'm Angie Ambrosetti. I have been with Plexus for a little over 2.5 years, and I'm a senior Ruby. And like everyone else has already said, Leaders Retreat was amazing. But as I'm sitting here listening, and as I've been thinking back, I go back to bed over the last couple of nights, of course, John Maxwell he was phenomenal. One of my favorite things that he said was, hey, I'm John. I'm your friend. You don't work for me. I'm not your boss. Don't call me Mr. Don't call me doctor. I'm your friend. And I just loved that. I was like, oh my goodness, what an amazing perspective for someone in his position. We all know that he's the owner of the company. We all know he started all that he's doing, but he really genuinely is hey, I'm John, I'm your friend. And I love that because I feel like that's kind of what this team represents to me, because I had 3 people earn this trip on my team. And there were a couple extra people that are on my team that did get to come as guests. And they were poured, it's going to make me cry. They were poured into, like their cups are overflowing, not from me, but from what the rest of you did and what other people in Plexus did. The pouring into them, the things I've heard from the few people on my team that went, I was overwhelmed. Like, I couldn't believe, like, even some of you messaged me or called me or said in person, I spent a lot of time talking to this person or that person that's on your team. And that meant so much to me. I was thrilled to have people on my team there. And I was excited to be able to talk with them and get to know them. Couple that I had never even, well, one of them I had never met before. She actually lives right in my town. I just had never met her before. One girl I had met one other time, but just being able to spend time together and then for you guys to just pour into them was, you just can't imagine what that feeling is for me. And then of course my party side, loved doing the live video. And I just have to call out one person in particular. Hello, Miss Lynn. This is what she said to me. I was doing the live video and I just impromptu. And she said afterwards, that wasn't hard at all. This was kind of easy because I've been telling her, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And after, it was just that impromptu thing. And she's like, that wasn't hard at all. So that's kind of my thing. Like, I love being able to do the videos and chat with people and just be able to communicate. And I love doing that at Leaders Retreat. It was a lot of fun. And like everyone else has said, just the time spent together at the parties, and we got crazy, you guys. We were dancing, we were being silly, and it was a blast. You guys do not want to miss it next year. And like Casey said, you want to earn it early because it wasn't as much fun probably having to be at another hotel. I think that's what I had to walk away for a minute. I think that's what she was saying, is not being able to be at the Gaylord. At least, there were people that did get to go, but being there made it, just more fun, not having to travel back and forth as much. But it's my second Leaders Retreat, and I'm already thinking, oh man, I got to make sure I win it again next year. So anyways, I hope that's an encouragement to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that. Lynn, do you want to go next? You just have to unmute yourself, and you can share when you joined and how you earned it.
Okay. Hey guys. I joined the end of April, and I began taking the products in the beginning of May in secret. Didn't tell anybody, not even our children. But then it was the end of June when I decided I need to tell people about this because I had so much help from the products. So I was one who told Megan, I will never share this on Facebook. I don't care about getting my products paid for. I'm never telling anybody. So I guess what I would like to do is just encourage every person listening to this that you can do this. Okay. I feel like, you know, in my little town, there are a number of people that are ambassadors, but the deal is we all have our own people and our own circles of people. So just know that you can do this. So I really want to encourage you. It would be so awesome if we all could earn this next time. It was really great. I was kind of like, is this real? Am I really here? Am I worthy of being here? I am a senior gold right now. So I've had kind of quick success, which I'm very thankful for. But, you know, there are, even in my situation, there are ups and downs, hills and valleys. Sometimes I get in my mind discouraged. I was telling Megan this today. I'm a yellow, so really mainly yellow personality. So if I get a message from someone that, you know, they're in terrible detox, they've gained weight, you know, they're kind of mad at me, it seems like, that can really like drag me down, where I really take it, internalize that. So I guess I just want to encourage that this is possible. And, you know, we really are one team. I feel like, you know, all of these names on here, I feel like we're all friends. Okay. And any one of these people would help anybody else. That is not like that on every other team. So this is very unique, and it's a real blessing that we are all together on this team. One of my favorite parts of Leaders Retreat, like everybody else said, was meeting all of you people that I've only seen in my computer. So I could actually touch you and say, yeah, you're real people. So that was super fun. The other thing, I was at a different hotel, so I traveled on a bus back and forth to the Gaylord. So I had to sit next to strangers every day, all the time, back and forth. So the very first time, I just sat there quiet, just looked straight ahead. And then the person next to me just tapped me on the arm and said, hi, I'm Michelle. Okay. So from that experience, I have made 6 new Plexus friends. We had these great conversations, lots in common. Many were teachers, which I was just like, wow, I'm a teacher. So it was just me getting out of my comfort zone. I think I grew as a leader just from the bus rides. So I don't know what else to say, but I really will definitely try to earn it again, because it was really worth it.
Mm-hmm.
For fun.
The key to earning it too, I loved what you shared, Lynn. It was awesome. The key to earning it next year is to help your team earn it, help teammates earn it. That's the fun part, actually, is getting your teams on board and encouraging them to do it early. I know I had really encouraged people in the beginning of June, like, hey, capitalize on the front end. You never know what the summer is going to look like at the end of the summer, so do it now. And that's what makes it so fun, is when you see your personal teammates there getting poured into, getting loved on, getting spoiled, and then just experiencing Plexus as a culture. And I don't know if Christy, I don't know if Christy's on or she's going to share, but she was in another network marketing company. She's just like, I am flabbergasted. She goes, the culture here, she's like, this is unlike anything I've ever seen before. And she had specifics, but just to experience the culture of Plexus and to hear the top people speak, the CEOs and stuff, I think that's been a huge blessing. That's been a big blessing to me. I know that when I went to corporate and saw the corporate office, saw all the inner workings of it's really cool to be able to just have a broadened perspective of what you're a part of. So it's cool. Really, really neat. Katie.
Megan, I was going to add real quick. You were talking about like loving having your team there, like listening to some of the first time people. Sorry, I've got a baby that's fussy now. Anyway, listening to to some of the people for the first time, like them seeing how much events, like I love hearing that from them. Like it's just like so fun and so exciting to hear like them just be blown away by it and see what we've been talking about, you know, this whole time about, you know, just the events. So anyway, I was just gonna add that while you were saying that.
Yeah, love that. Yep. Katie, do you want to go next? You just have to unmute yourself real quick. There's a little button on the left-hand corner. Oops, you're still muted.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go. I'm already, my heart's like racing. No, it was so, I just joined, I started taking products in May, sort of similar to Lynn. Like, I don't think I'm going to share. I'm good. I just want to see if they actually work. But then started actually sharing them after a month of being home. So I started into sharing. But oh my word, Leaders Retreat, I never thought I would get to do something. I just messaged a friend today and said I felt like I was a movie star all weekend. It was so fun. And just getting to meet you guys and meeting people in the hallways, like I met Bridget, and it was so normal. And you look up to these people and think, oh my gosh, I can never even like talk to them. And they were just like us. They were just totally normal. I connected with a lot of people at the pool, just talking to them and just being open and sharing. And I'm just really thankful for our team, like Lynn was saying, and everybody else. Just the genuine, I mean, seriously, the sincerity of everyone on our team that just cares deeply for everybody. And it's not looking to like move up in the company, but they care for the person in front of them that they're talking to. And that's, I think, one of the things they were talking about on stage is just look at the person you're talking to and connect to that person and let them know that you care. I talked to a girl on our team, I don't think she's on here tonight, but she lives in Florida, and we talked for an hour and a half today, which was just an amazing call. And she didn't know me from Adam, but she like poured into me about stuff that I'm dealing with the girl I'm meeting with this weekend. So I'm thankful for everyone and the realness of everyone on here. I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I love everybody here. But I'm just thankful for what Plexus has brought like into my life, just being a stay-at-home mom and giving me something outside of that. So yeah, you guys are awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Katie.
Yeah.
Okay, Wendy, are you able to unmute and share? Okay, Lisa has to pop off. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, Wendy, I'm not sure if Wendy's able to unmute or not. Well, in the meantime, she might be able to at some point, but do you want to share a couple takeaways?
Sure.
Okay.
Are we muted?
Oh, did she come off?
There she is.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Hi. Can you guys see me or hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I would just like to say that, oh my goodness, it was a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice to get to Leaders Retreat this year, but it was totally, totally worth it. And I want to thank Megan for being really strong and just insisting that we all go. You know, like there's so many excuses not to go. I traveled with my kids, 4 girls, and had a great time, but it was a challenge. And I'm just grateful for her strong leadership, but I'm also really grateful this year. It wasn't just me earning leadership retreat. My team rallied, helped me, encouraged me, and made me go. They're a bunch of yellows, and they just said, you have to go and you have to learn for us. So that was so encouraging. And Coach Cuevas, he was a speaker on the second day, and he showed that clip, that death crawl clip from that Christian movie. I can't remember the name of it. but the tears just poured and poured and poured out of my eyes watching that clip, because I saw Megan in the coach, and I saw my runners on my team as the coach, and I saw Carrie and Jessica and my sidelines as a coach saying, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. I mean, guys, I was inspired just on the drive there. It was the whole weekend was awesome. The thing I keep telling people about John Maxwell, he was our favorite, you know. But he was hilarious. He is 70 years old. He's written 80 books. He's a leader of leaders. He's amazingly successful, and he can laugh at himself. He is hilarious, and he laughs at himself. When he couldn't remember the name of his website, and he asked his helper off stage, what's the name of the website? And then he couldn't even hear him say it, so he had to ask more than once for the name of the website that he was trying to tell us to go to get his new book, which it was so funny. Anyway, and then he says, oh yeah, www.johnmaxwell.com. And then he raises his microphone up in the air and like runs these little circles around. And he goes, follow me, follow me. And he was just so funny because he's this awesome leader. He's absolutely strong. Do you think he's a red? I mean, he's definitely a strong leader, and yet he's humble, and he cares about people more than anything else. He loves people. He cares about them. He empowers them. And then he laughs at himself. It was so good. It went right with Alex saying, be humble. So anyway, loved it. Totally worth it. Hundreds of takeaways. Everybody come next year. There's really no reason why you can't do it. You can do it by yourself. You can do it with your team. Just do it.
Amen.
Can you mute me?
What's that? Oh yeah.
I don't.
Thank you for sharing, Wendy. Justin, do you want to share your
Sure.
things?
I have several things, but I'm not going to share them all. But a lot of what you guys shared, really. One of the things is, sorry, I got a big white box on our computer screen here. Here we go. One of the things is how much I love live events. You just can't beat a live event. They're fun. They're full of energy. And Megan and I made a decision 3 leaders retreats ago that once we decided that we were going to be Plexus ambassadors, or I guess once I got past my skepticism, we just made the decision that if there's a live event, we're going to go. That's where leaders go. And we've done that now for the last few years. We've taken babies and we've had a carload of kids. We have not brought the dog. Actually, we took the dog when we met Lynn. You didn't know that, Lynn, but we had the dog with us. Anyway, so we've just made it a priority. And I am so thankful we did, because the live events have been the turning point for me every single time. The live events have been very powerful to me. The very first leaders retreat I went to was in Washington, D.C. I did not earn it. Megan did. I was sharing. I was taking the products and I was sharing the business with some people at that time, but I really wasn't all in, I guess. I went as a skeptic and I thought, let's take advantage of the free trip while we can and let's just go. And I did. And I left that first leaders retreat in Washington, D.C. saying, we can do this. I had belief. And during that first leaders retreat, Rob Heffley sat down with me one night at a coffee shop or whatever at that hotel, at that resort, and just poured into me and talked to me. And I didn't really know who he was, and I don't even know what rank he was back then. He might not. Was he Emerald? Maybe not. I don't even know if he was even Emerald at the time.
I think he was, actually.
but he poured into me, and my belief exploded, and I left that first leaders retreat saying, we can do this. And then we got to last year's leaders retreat. I left that one saying, we have to do this. And then I left this year's leaders retreat saying, we have to do this now, because it's growing. People are sharing Plexus with people, and it's time someone's going to share Plexus with your circle.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone's going to share Plexus with people you don't even know yet. So I left this one saying, we have to do this now. Now's the time to take advantage of this opportunity.
Urgency is important.
Yeah, I've heard it say before, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. You have to take advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime in the lifetime of the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And right now is time. It's time. And I've never been so proud to be a Plexus ambassador. Being at this leaders retreat might have been the best one I've ever been to. I absolutely loved it. And the thing I love the most is the people. I loved listening to John Maxwell. He was wonderful. He was actually hilarious. But he honestly was not the highlight of this leaders retreat for me. It was being around all the teammates.
Mm-hmm.
We went to one in Washington, D.C., and it was kind of lonely, to be honest with you. I mean,
Wendy was there.
Wendy was there. We had no idea what we were doing, you know. And then last year, there was a few more people went, and we all had fun, and we were pretty reserved. And then this year, a lot more people went, and then we had some wild dancers out there, and people were laughing. I told Katie Donovan she got the first annual, she was unanimously chosen as the first annual winner of the Team Joyful Dancer Award. So I don't have a trophy or anything yet, but we're working on that. And it was just, we had a blast. We laughed and we talked with each other and gave each other hugs, and it was wonderful. The people is what made it the best for me. It's fun to go, but it's so much better when you can go with a bunch of your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no comparison. There's no comparison. It's kind of like the best deer hunting story I have is the one that I went with my son and he shot a deer.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to celebrate with him. When you celebrate others' successes and victories, man, that just is so much better. And this leaders retreat was that way for me. It was a lot of fun. And another thing is with people, I'm talking, there's people in other teams. I was able to see people that have become my friends, but this team here, one team, is extremely unique.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to a lot of people in Plexus all the time, and this team, one team, I'm excited to see what all happens with this team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're anywhere close to being done with growth.
No.
There's no way. I talk to the people and I talk to you guys and I find out, you know, what your why is and what motivates you and why you love Plexus. And almost every person I talk to, their why has to do with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Their why is bigger than them. And that's why I think that this team is going to be used in amazing ways. I think that people on this team are going to be some of the diamond trainers in the Plexus company. And I'm not talking about myself or her. I've talked to her about who some of these people are, I think. But this team is incredibly unique. And it was just a joy to meet a lot of you guys, some of you guys for the first time. It was a lot of fun and to do it with you.
Even just impact and influence. You guys, as you continue to grow in your teams and your influence and your leadership skills, think about how that impacts your families, how it impacts your the ministry that you guys do. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Some of the other little things matter to me. So the Salvation Army, the Plexus gave $300 and some odd thousand to the Salvation Army, and they chose the Salvation Army because of the amount of money that was going to be actually used for relief efforts and not administrative costs, that is a big deal to me. That's one reason why I am very careful who I give money to. And that spoke volumes to me, that they took the time and did their research to make a good enough and wise enough decision that the money would actually use to help people. And one of the reasons that they've done what they've done in Houston is because of the ambassadors in Houston. It's because they love their ambassadors. And so outside of this team that was there, sorry, John Maxwell, he's about like a 4th or 5th place for me. But Alec and Tarl were one of my highlights. They're kind of quirky and goofy on stage, and they're not professional speakers.
They work really hard. Like they
do.
A lot of coaching.
But they're learning just like we are, and I love their leadership. I think they're real people. I think they're great men as far as men are concerned, and I think I'm just proud to be a part of this company. With Tarl helping carry the groceries to the one girl's room and helping her out. Just the little things matter, the high fives, the smiles, the conversations that they have with everybody, and the little things matter to me. And I don't know. Those are some.
Can I real quick to that, Justin? Adding on to Alec and Tarl, I love how much they compliment each other. Like, you can tell they are genuinely like work well together, get along, and like they don't. What was it when Alec like introduced Tarl? Like they always have such nice things to say about each other, and I don't ever get the sense that it's like they're just saying it to say it.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely get that they really do care about not only each other and all of us, but all the people that work at the corporate and everything like that. So I just want to add that. Sorry.
Yeah,
no,
that's
go ahead
good.
and share whatever you were going to share your takeaways too, because we'll wrap it up, you and I.
Well, honestly, like almost everything I wanted to say has been said. I loved, hearing like that there were 2,000 extra ambassadors that earned it than they were expecting. Like that just tells you about the growth of the company and, that they, where things are going, that they didn't expect that many of us to be there. And like Casey said, it's unfortunate that people were at different places, but just the fact that they still got to be there. I loved getting to meet everyone in person that I have never met in person. It's kind of like I talked to a few of you, and it was kind of like we feel like we know each other. We're like great friends, but really we've never even met in person. I don't remember who said it, like you're no longer just on the computer. And I also, there was another thing. Oh, I guess I was also going to tell you guys, for those of you that don't know, this was my fourth leaders retreat, and the first one I've been able to attend, between a wedding and I still teach, so parent teacher conferences. And then my very first year I had joined, like less than 2 months before leaders retreat. I earned it by some miracle. I don't really know how. I was the only one on Jessica's team to earn it that year. And I honestly didn't really understand what leaders retreat was. And I didn't understand how much of a big 2 weeks before, because the contest went longer, or the dates were different. So the contest went closer to the actual retreat. And so I didn't understand the importance. I didn't get why I needed to spend money on a plane ticket to fly to go do this. And actually that year it was in Orlando also, because they went to Disney then also. But anyway, so yeah, I didn't understand. So I was so excited to actually be at a leaders retreat, and not just watch all my teammates go and enjoy themselves. So anyway, I won't talk too long. I've got somebody here that somebody will not relax. I don't think she liked vacation food very much.
Oh,
she's been a little grumpy since we got home.
Oh dear. So
yeah, it was fantastic trip, but
did it trump convention?
It's just different. Like, was it Lisa or Angie? Somebody was like, or Casey maybe even, Leaders Retreat is different. Like you're spoiled more, there's more to do. Or, you know, like convention I feel like is go, go, go so much where like there's a session in the morning, there's an afternoon session, there's like some special dinner at night. You know, it's like convention, I don't feel like there's lots of time to just like breathe and take it all in. It's just like so much, but I don't know. I feel like it's such an honor to be at Leaders Retreat because it's something you have to earn to be there. And what did we say in that thread? Like it was like 1% of ambassadors earn this trip. Like that's just, I don't know. So it's different. I don't know. But like Lisa said, you don't ever want to miss a Plexus event.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree.
What are your thoughts on that? I'm curious now. Like the different, like what you see the differences are.
Oh, I just view it as like it's even more special because not everyone and their brother gets to go. It's people that have really worked their tails off and raised their leadership lids and affected, you know, growth on their teams. Like there's a lot of, I don't know. I think it's just even more special than convention. Convention's nice, but this is just a treat for leaders, and that's why you all need to earn it and plan to earn it and start growing your teams now so you get the momentum going for next summer.
Yes.
Okay, Shelby, I see you're on. Yay, we want to hear from you. Very first Leaders Retreat.
No, I have no makeup on.
That's okay.
Another one of our dancers. First year dancer.
It was awesome. It was like better than I expected. And I don't know. It was just fun. I think getting to know the girls in person was probably the best part about it for me. And just because I think I just kind of see people on Facebook and don't really get to know them. So, yeah. Can you hear me? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually popped on kind of late. I actually got confused about times because that's me. But anyways.
That's okay. We're all kind of sleep deprived and jet lagged.
For sure. So I don't really have a ton to say other than it was just, it's worth it. It's worth it to work your tail off and to plan. This year I planned a little bit better, not amazingly, but I actually realized that even just like having high PV each month was so important. And then I just think that working early on and realizing, you know, you want to make it is good. So yeah.
Yes, totally agree. Okay. So, I hear someone's TV or something. Okay. All right. I'll just wrap it up by saying I loved the challenges that were given to us. So Jan shared the 10 points. But the 2 challenges were smile at 5 strangers every day from now until Super Saturday. Remember, Super Saturday is January 6th. You want to make sure you attend one of the locations or you pop on one of the live streams. And then the second thing was no complaining for 30 days. And so I didn't keep that at the forefront of my brain today. I need to write it on the fridge and on the chalkboard.
Start tomorrow.
So anyways, I thought that was really good. And then just know that events are like so many people have said, like so worth it. But I'll just say, speaking from my own experience as a mom of 6 kids, homeschooling, like life is crazy. And to be able to go means I have to move mountains, not just laundry mountains, but I have to move a lot of mountains to be able to attend these things. A lot of planning, a lot of prep work. I don't even know how to explain. Like I'm still in the aftermath of it all. If you don't bring kids with, then that means you're arranging childcare or you leave jobs behind and have to plan all that. I mean, just to know that we have made it a priority and it's so worth it. So I'll just reiterate that. Leaders are not just born at events, they're also grown at events. And that's why we continue to go, because we grow and our belief is built even more every time we go. You guys build our belief because you're there and you're learning and you're growing and believing more. And I was going to say too, sometimes, I mean, I'm fairly red, and so I can like keep my nose to the grindstone and not feel like I need relationships, even though I do. Like I need relationships. I need to be more balanced and more blue and those types of things. But it's not all about me. Like I'm going because I know it's good for everyone on my team. And so anyways, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there too. One thing I'll just say, that I've prayed for years for godly mentors. I've been mentored through books and through some close relationships, but what a surprise blessing it's been to have been mentored through Plexus.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not just business things. Like, business is business. I mean, it's a means to an end, maybe, and it's fun. It's a worldly, earthly pleasure and brings us worldly things, right? But what a blessing. Can I just say that mentor, the ways I was poured into this past weekend by specific people, what a blessing. I sat with a couple of ladies on Wednesday. Both of them had 11 and 12 kids, and they poured into me. And it wasn't just Plexus stuff. It was like life stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what this opportunity brings us. I mean, what a blessing. And then Jan, I was chatting with Jan on the last night, and oh my word, she poured into me. And maybe she didn't even realize she was, but that's been a huge surprise to me, is surprise blessing, is just the mentorship. It's friendship. It's pouring into people, sharing stories. It's older people that are at a different life stage than me, being able to share their wisdom. And I really, really appreciate that. So it's not necessarily I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to share that little takeaway that I gleaned from Leaders Retreat. On top of the fun part of, I don't know, this wasn't really mentioned, but that you get to go do and experience other things when you're at Leaders Retreat, because we got to go do Disney with the kids, and usually there's like some fun events outside of Plexus that they offer, so that's super fun. Okay, really fast. 2 things in January that are taking place. Super Saturday is January 6th. And then we are hosting as a team a Leaders Retreat. And the qualification is to complete the Rocktober Challenge and to be qualified as Senior Gold by the end of December. And that's going to take place January the 26th through the 28th. It'll start at supper time on Friday the 26th and go through like brunch is what I'm thinking on the 28th. I haven't finalized all details yet. It's going to be hosted on Lookout Mountain, Georgia. And I believe that's right. Angie and family, they own the cabins. So that's kind of a little quick thing. I'm going to put a post up on the team page just so everyone can kind of plan ahead for that. Don't miss it. It's an opportunity for you guys who didn't earn the Corporate Leaders Retreat to be able to qualify and earn that. So make sure that, I know a lot of people are already on it. They're on board looking ahead, using this month and next month as prep month, meaning strong recruitment, strong producing, so that you guys have the people in place to have the points for the end of December. So, all right. Thanks, guys, for popping on. I know that a lot of us have sleep to catch up on and a lot of laundry to catch up on, so we'll pop off here. But I just wanted to capitalize on this excitement and the things that we learned while it was all fresh in our brains. You guys have a great night. Thanks for popping on.
See you guys.
Bye.